Hey guys, welcome to Arsenal Guru. Today we'll be talking about post-game analysis between Liverpool and Arsenal. Let's get started. Boom! As you guys already know, we got destroyed by Liverpool. It's 4-0 guys, 4-0. We're not comparable in any source of the game. We were poor, we were bad, one step behind. There's no comparable. We're not up to this game and that's the problem. And what's funny enough is that it's 2-0. I know we need to get the goal. But if you don't defend first, how are you going to get the goal back? You're going to give them the goal away, and that's what Liverpool wants to do. And they did exactly in the way that they wanted. There's nothing to complain because we play into the way that they wanted, which is not good enough. But anyway, let's get into the lineup analysis first. As I mentioned in the pre-game analysis, Arsene Wenger needs to get this thing right. And he didn't, as expected. We put Bellerin on the left-hand side, on the left wing back again, Ramsey in the middle. As I already stated, we cannot put Ramsey in the middle there. He's not the central midfielder. You guys can say that he is, but he's not playing like he is a central midfielder. He play like a tracking midfield or like a forward because he's always at the front. He's not right next to Xhaka. And then I'll show you exactly why again in the gameplay, why he's not our central midfielder and we can't put him there. And not only that, we put Welbeck in front of Lacazette. He is on the bench and Kolasinac is on the bench. So we got two new players that we bought them in and they're on the bench. So what's the whole point of we buying them for? We just buy them to put them on the bench? Why do we spend so much money on players that we don't even play them? Why are we doing that? Why do we buy them? Why do we buy any players? That's like so many whys. Whatever he's doing, I mean, Arsene Wenger is why? It's not like, okay, that's right, that's great, perfect, awesome, that's the way to do it. It's not, it's totally opposite. Alexis Sanchez started, that's great, but Holding didn't play well against Leicester, so then he got dropped out in Stoke. Mustafi in. Now, Mustafi didn't really play well in Stoke, so now we switch back to Holding. Like, what is this? Where is consistency? Like, are we just gonna switch, like, whenever we want? Like, oh, he's not playing well, let's drop him out of the game and just put another player in and expect them to play well. There's no consistency. What is there to expect? As I already know, like when I see the lineup, we're gonna concede the goals. And now, how can we score against them? Do we have enough quality to do that? It shows that we don't have. And no one shows up in this game. 4-0. Smash it up in the face and just deal with it. We're not ready for it. Anyway guys, that's it for the lineup analysis. Now we're gonna get back to the gameplay and we'll come back. Alright guys, I want to start off right here. As you guys can see on the screen, you guys can see how we pressed up where Sean got the ball right here, and we're not even close to him at all. We keep Sean so much time with the ball, he's able to look up and see who to pass to, and you guys will see that he will pass the ball to Salah in the space that is available for him to pass to, and from there on the space is open up again, and Salah is able to pass the ball to the next player without having any pressure. Another thing that I want to mention is that you guys need to look at the position where Monreal is. He's pressed up so high as he tried to mark Salah, but that leaves the space open up behind him. So in this case, Salah is gonna try to run forward, and then Matip gonna try to pass the ball to him there to expose the space that is available for him, and then that creates a chance for them in this case. Next, I want to point out where Ozil is compared to Moreno. He's so far away from him, he gives him a lot of time to cross the ball nicely into the box, and that creates a chance for them to score again. And then also another thing to point out is that you guys can see where all the Arsenal players, everyone is inside the box except Oxland-chamberlain next to the player. And then if you guys look at the front, Alexis Sanchez and Welbeck at the front there's so much gap in between our players, and that's create a lot of space there for Liverpool to pick up the second ball where we are nowhere near close to picking that up. Next, I want to point out where Xhaka is and also see how deep Ozil come down to pick up the ball. And as you guys can all see as well, there's nowhere to be found for Oxland-chamberlain and Hector Bellerin in this scene here. So only one that they can pass to right now is to Ozil. And then from there on, Ozil has no one to go to unless he try to dribble the ball pass to the front. But the thing is, once he gets up to the front, as you guys can see here as well, that there's no one to pass to because everyone's already at the front and then all got marked by Liverpool, and then now they're going to try to press it to him, and then all he can do is only pass the ball back to the defenders. What I want to point out in this scene here is that to see where Xhaka and Ramsey is and who is defending Sane in this case is Oxland-chamberlain. If he comes inside like this, so he's going to be out of position and then can attack on the left hand side. It's going to be so easy for Liverpool there. As you guys can see in this scene as well, where Rob Holding tried to press up to Sane, Oxland-chamberlain at the front, Xhaka and Ramsey are nowhere near close to him at all, where he's supposed to be in the middle. For the first goal, we conceding by Xhaka mistake again for the third game in a row now. In this scene here, Xhaka has tried to pass the ball to Bellerin. Next thing you know, he got intercepted by Gomez. He tried to cover Bellerin up. And next thing you know, he out of position, and then Gomez gonna pass the ball to Chan where he is free in the middle, and then he can go from there. Next thing you know, Bellerin try to run back, but he's not fast enough. Give a lot of chance for Gomez to have time to cross the ball in, and then he crossed the ball in where Firmino is able to meet with the cross, and then he scored by the header in this case. Another reason we can tell why we're conceding the first goal is that look at how far Ramsey and Xhaka is. They're nowhere to be near close, and then Ramsey is turning behind himself to the ball, and then he's talking to the bench, and we have no idea what's going on in the game, and he's not able to help out his team in defense. For the second goal, we lost the ball while we attacked in the final third. Next thing you know, they can start counter attack where the two midfielders are out of position and then left to be exposed. Next thing you know, Chan passed the ball to Firmino. Firmino passed the ball to Mane, and then Mane solo his personal skills to score by cutting inside where Holding is not tight enough for him, and then he is one step quicker than Holding, so he has the chance to score by bending the goal in this case, and he curved the ball into the goal without any problem. In this goal, this can consider to be the easiest goal that Liverpool will score this season because we only left Bellerin back to expose, where Molly was supposed to be at the back as well. He's turned into left back after halftime, but he was attacking the ball, so now Salah can just steal the ball from Bellerin, and then he just runs straight to our goalkeeper, which is Czech in this case, and he'll just score easily. And that killed our momentum of trying to get back into this game to score the first goal, but then the score changed to 3-0, and that's the end of this game at this point. For the fourth goal, I want to start here. We have two guys try to get the ball from Firmino, and then they can't get the ball back. Next thing you know, Coquelin stand in front just to guard them, but then he cannot do anything as well. The ball get passed to Chan. Now he's gonna run to Holding, and then he's gonna expose Holding, and then now he's gonna go forward, pass the ball to Salah, and Salah is nowhere near close to Bellerin, so he's gonna cross the ball to Sturridge, and then Sturridge gonna hit the ball into the goal. And Shani wasn't aware that he's at the back of him, doesn't know where the ball is gonna go from the cross, so he doesn't do anything. That's how we concede the fourth goal, which is so easy. So that is, guys, the gameplay and then the goal analysis. There's so much to talk about in this game because there's was 4 goals, and then try not to make the video go too long. I would say the overall performance was really poor. It was unacceptable, as we already know. This is not Arsenal at all. This is like the team that's fighting for a regulation. No, not even that. Maybe a championship team because we're not up for the game. And then look, Crystal Palace can defense better than us, and they only concede 1 goal against Liverpool, and we're conceding 4 goals, which is ridiculous. So now let's look at the real problems that I have in the last video and then also in this video as well. The real problems, as we already know, defenders. We not have good enough defenders, so we need to get defenders. There was no news. Like, okay, there was news about us selling players, but there's no news about us buying defenders that we need. Right? Okay, there's Johnny Evans, there's Van Dijk. There's only 2, and there's no one else. What are we doing? We're not addressing the issue again. Same problem over and over again. We'll have to wait and see, and I'm sure we're not going to do anything until the last day, last minute of the transfer market, and that's when we'll see the good news, if there's going to be a good news. Another thing that I want to talk about is that I mentioned in the last game too is do not panic, which is wrong, which I already said it. Even Arsene Wenger say that, okay, we cannot be panic, but we can't. 3 games, we lost 2 games. Okay, it's 2 away games. We're not good enough. In this Liverpool game, we just not nowhere near to be found. We're not the top team in the league anymore. It just embarrassing to be like the way we are and the way we play. And what can we do? Like now the next question is gonna be, where can we go from now? What should we do? How is he gonna address the issue? What is there to be fixed? How do we recover? You know what I mean? How do we respond from here? We cannot go anywhere with the way we are doing things, the way we play, the tactics, the way Arsene Wenger is doing things. There's so many questions that need to be asked. You can ask 10,000 million things, but if you're not answering anything, or if you're not getting the answer for that, there's no point of asking questions when you don't get the answer. I hope that he solve all of those questions that I have here, not just only here. There's like another 10,000 million questions that I want to ask that need to be asked, and that needs to be addressed as well. So I hope that it will be addressed soon. Okay, so let's put that aside from now, because I can just keep bragging on about, oh, why this, why that, what should we do with this and that. There's so much problems, and I don't know how we're gonna solve that problems, because right now we cannot do anything. So we have to wait and see what they would want to do, they would like to do, and how they're going to do it. So now let's look at league table standing. So obviously right now we lost the game, so now we're sitting at 16, which is terrible of where we are right now. We're not even supposed to be here. We're supposed to be in the top 6, I would say, if you want to challenge for anything, right? But we're not up to it at all. And look at Manchester United. They're the first, scored 10 goals, conceding none. We score 4 in the first game. We haven't scored in the 2 games, and not only that, there was 0 shot on target in the game against Liverpool. It shows how bad we are, and we are conceding 8 goals in the last 3 games. We're not good enough in terms of defense, so we need to tie that up, and if we're not, we're gonna be doomed for the season for sure. Okay, let's look at the next game. Before we get into the next game, I want to mention is that right now there's an international break for this weekend. The next game until the week after, which is the September 9th against Bournemouth. They're at the 18th, which is not that far from us. Both 2 teams gonna be so desperate of getting a win. We lost 2 games. They lost all 3 games. They haven't won against any team. They haven't even get a point. They haven't get a draw. They were close to get a draw against Manchester City last game. They're conceding the goal in the last minute, so that's why they lost the game. Keep playing in the way that they play against Manchester City, we're going to have another big problem again. The way they press, the way they attack, and the way how they almost score. They hit the post. If we're playing like we're playing against Liverpool, oh, good luck. It's gonna be a disaster for sure. Even though right now it's gonna be even worse, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Everyone is going to come out and criticize on Arsenal and on Arsene Wenger. If we can lose the next game, it clearly shows that we're not addressing any issue, and if we're not doing that, we're done, guys. That's it. That's the end of the season. Like, we just play whatever we play. So that is it, guys. This is it for this video. If you guys like it, please give it a thumbs up. Please also subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.